After many years of planning and preparation, we are making progress with construction of P.J. Adams Parkway and the Southwest Bypass, including the new I-10 interchange. We are now planning for the Northwest Bypass continuation, made possible by Okaloosa County half-cent surtax funds and grant funding from the Florida Department of Transportation. At this public meeting, we will look at the objective and purpose of the Northwest Bypass project, describe the process and results, and discuss what's next. This project is being developed by Okaloosa County in coordination with the City of Crestview and the Florida Department of Transportation. The Northwest Crestview Bypass Alternative Corridor Evaluation Study is a high-level planning study that is in the first phase of a multi-phase process. The overall objective of the study is to determine the feasibility and potential location for the northwest segment of the Crestview Bypass. At the end of this study, we will have gathered enough information to determine which corridor should proceed to a more detailed phase of analysis, called a Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study. Future phases are not yet funded, but are anticipated in the 2045 Long-Range Transportation Plan of the Okaloosa-Walton Transportation Planning Organization. The purpose of this study is to provide regional connectivity as an alternative to State Road 85, completing the northwestern bypass around the city of Crestview, consistent with local plans and connecting with the Southwest Bypass currently under construction. The study area is from U.S. Highway 90 West James Lee Boulevard to State Road 85 North Ferndon Boulevard, with the northern extent at Bill Lundy Road on State Road 85. The study is currently in the planning phase and is following a process developed by the Florida Department of Transportation known as an Alternative Corridor Evaluation, or ACE. The ACE process identifies and evaluates reasonable corridor alternatives through a structured process. The ACE advances a recommended corridor to the next study phase and eliminates the remaining alternatives. We will walk through the primary steps. In Step 1, the study area was defined based on input from Okaloosa County, the City of Crestview, and the Okaloosa-Walton Transportation Planning Organization 2045 Long-Range Transportation Plan. In Step 2, the study area was reviewed for existing and future conditions that would constrain corridor development, such as existing and planned neighborhoods, community features such as churches and cemeteries, natural resources including the Yellow River, parks and recreation areas, farmland, utilities, and areas identified for future growth. In Step 3, after giving consideration to past studies and following the screening process, 6 initial corridors were identified within the study area. The corridors connect with the Southwest Bypass under construction and give consideration to a potential future eastern bypass which is currently beyond the planning horizon of this study. We will look at each corridor on the following slides. Alternative 1 begins at Enzor Road and travels northwest alongside the Yellow River with a connection to Old Bethel Road. It then travels easterly to Adams Road at Auburn Road on State Road 85. Alternative 1 is 8.7 miles. Alternative 2 consists of capacity improvements to Old Bethel Road, County Road 188, from the intersection with US 90 to the intersection with Airport Road on State Road 85. Alternative 2 is 4.9 miles. Alternative 3 begins on Old Bethel Road, like Alternative 2, but extends northeasterly to Adams Road and Auburn Road on State Road 85. The initial distance of Alternative 3 was 6.9 miles, but it was later refined to avoid resources and is now 7.7 miles. The refined path is shown. Alternative 4 also begins on Old Bethel Road like Alternative 3, but curves back to the northwest before connecting to Adams Road and Auburn Road on State Road 85. The initial distance of Alternative 4 was 7.1 miles, but it was later refined to avoid resources and is now 7.2 miles. The refined path is shown. Alternative 5 also begins on Old Bethel Road, like Alternative 4, but navigates north and east through mostly undeveloped land until reaching Bill Lundy Road on State Road 85. The initial distance of Alternative 5 was 8.8 miles, but it was later refined to avoid resources and is now 9.2 miles. The refined path is shown. Alternative 6 begins at the intersection of US 90 and Old Bethel Road at Ensor Road and travels east along US 90 to Cason Avenue, where it travels north and east on new alignment past Bob Sykes Elementary School to Old Bethel Road and then to State Road 85 at Airport Road. Alternative 6 is 3.6 miles. For Step 4, design criteria were developed which assume a 4-lane arterial roadway with a design speed of 45 to 55 miles per hour. For the purposes of evaluation, a 250-foot wide corridor was assumed. However, the actual roadway right-of-way would be less and is anticipated to range from 100 to 130 feet. The roadway configuration and future right-of-way will be determined in the next study phase and subject to additional public input. Step 5 is the evaluation of the corridors based on 3 categories. 1. Purpose and need. 2. Social, cultural, and environmental factors. And 3. Engineering and cost considerations. The initial screening is based on the primary purpose and need, which, among other factors, include the need to provide regional connectivity and to be consistent with the Okaloosa County and City of Crestview plans. Alternatives that do not meet the primary purpose and need screening are eliminated from further consideration. Based on the purpose and need evaluation, Alternative 1 was eliminated from further consideration. Alternative 1 was found to be incompatible with the County River Protection Zone in the County Comprehensive Plan. Based on the purpose and need evaluation, Alternative 2 was also eliminated from further consideration. Alternative 2 does not improve new regional connectivity, serve regional trips, or support anticipated new growth. Based on the purpose and need evaluation, Alternative 6 was also eliminated from further consideration. Alternative 6 functions more as a local route rather than a regional route and is incompatible with existing and future land use plans. The 3 remaining alternatives were refined and further evaluated based on social, cultural, and natural considerations and engineering and cost considerations. As the study progressed, Alternatives 3, 4, and 5 were refined to minimize impacts to people and resources. We will look at each refined corridor on the following slides. Based on the evaluation factors, Alternative 3 remains under consideration as it expands regional connectivity and provides for new network options to connect with Adams Road and Auburn Road at State Road 85. Based on the evaluation factors, Alternative 4 also remains under consideration as it expands regional connectivity and provides for new network options to connect with Adams Road and Auburn Road at State Road 85. Based on the evaluation factors, Alternative 5 also remains under consideration as it expands regional connectivity and provides for new network options to connect further north with Bill Lundy Road at State Road 85. The Alternative Corridor Evaluation Report provides detailed analysis of each of these categories. Each of the 3 remaining corridors for Alternatives 3, 4, and 5 were evaluated and received a ranking score where a lower score is more favorable. It is important to note that the final decision is not based only on the score. The scores are only one factor to help the county reach a final decision. Public, agency, and local government input will also be considered to reach an overall decision by Okaloosa County, which will be documented in the final Alternative Corridor Evaluation Report. Step 6 involves agency and public input. The environmental resource agencies were afforded an opportunity to review and comment on all corridors through the FDOT Efficient Transportation Decision-Making, or ETDM, process. In summary, the environmental agencies had the most concern with Alternative 1 due to proximity to the Yellow River floodplain and environmental resources. The purpose of this meeting is to seek public input on the corridors so that Okaloosa County can make an informed decision. Public comment can be provided at this meeting by comment form or by email to the Okaloosa County Project Manager, Stephen Blaylock, at nwcb@myokaloosa.com. Step 7 is the final step, which is to complete the report considering all public comment received. We anticipate completion of the report in 2023. This will allow the county to work with the Florida Department of Transportation to advance the recommended alternative to the next study phase, which is a Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study. The next study phase is anticipated in the 2026 to 2030 timeframe. Remember that future phases, such as design, right-of-way, and construction, are not funded at this time. Each future phase will include opportunities for public input. The comment period closes on Friday, December 2nd, 2022. Please provide all comments to Stephen Blaylock, the Project Manager with Okaloosa County, by the contact information presented on this slide. Thank you for attending, and we look forward to hearing from you.